Hello everyone, today we'll be making the Betty Crocker rainbow cake taste even better and more homemade-like with a few simple tricks. So we have a bit of an overview at first and then we'll be showing you what we're using. So here we are using 1 cup of milk, dairy instead of water, a half cup of butter instead of vegetable oil, egg whites in white cakes instead of adding the yolk, and a half teaspoon of vanilla extract for a bit of added flavor. We're adding all the liquids to the dryers right now and then just mixing it up with a whisk. So just whisk until it's thoroughly mixed together, and then we're just going to show you again how we're adding everything. So we added all the liquids together separately, and then the clip before that you just saw was added all the liquids into the wets, and here we are separating the egg whites from the yolks, which you can use elsewhere. So here we are adding them into the colored lining, and we actually had more than enough mix, which you'll see in a bit. And we made another batch of cupcakes for a few other guests that we're going to be having at a party. If you make any messes, just clean them up, and here's our extra batter. As you can see, pop it into the preheated oven, whatever it says on the back of your box. And then here we'll be showing you how to make a very simple buttercream icing using a half cup of unsalted butter, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2 cups of confectionery sugar, and 2 tablespoons of milk. You can add food coloring if you'd like, but we actually preferred the plain white icing, along with the fact that mind you, this doesn't make the most amount of icing ever, so we did actually go back in a couple clips in the future and make some more icing because we did have so much leftover cake batter, which we didn't want to waste. It's a very thick icing, and here we are piping it. We actually wished we had used a larger nozzle, but such is life. We found that these ones turned out pretty nice, so after one batch of icing, we ended up making some more to ice the rest of our cupcakes with. So you'll see that you just add a little bit icing sugar at a time. You don't want to overwhelm it. Makes it easier to mix this way, and it makes sure that everything's more thoroughly blended. Also make sure that you sift the sugar through a sifter first, because it just makes for a more smooth icing and you don't get pockets of dry sugar in your icing. So we're just putting it into a freezer bag. Freezer bags work the best to use as a piping bag, just because the smaller Ziploc or lunch baggies tend to rip. So we cut the end of the freezer bag, put on an icing tip, and then we iced our cupcakes. So if you make any mistakes, it's okay, you can go over and after. A few of these ended up not looking the best, and we just literally covered them and they looked great afterwards. As you can see, we're just icing them, a little bit of a slip up there, and then you just go right on over it. You don't even notice it. The icing is very, very sweet, I found, so if you like sweet things, that's good. We were a little bit icing heavy because a lot of our friends do like sweet stuff, but if you're not a big fan of sweet stuff, just reduce the amount of vanilla. Perhaps even you could possibly try salted butter as well. And then here we have mini Kinder eggs, or what are they called? They are Cadbury mini eggs, sorry, and we put 3 on each of them. We quite enjoyed the pastel looking color and the simplicity of them. They could be good for Easter even. We had these left over along with Mother's Day even, which is coming up this week or these coming weeks. And here we have our batch. They're very simple looking but very nice. So you've got the rainbow colors on the inside of the cake from the cake mix, and then you've also got a little bit of color on top, which ties it together quite well. So here you've got an icing mix recipe, and then you've also got a cake recipe from a box, and you just upgrade it by doing a few simple tricks that the box doesn't call for. But I'll leave everything down below, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, let us know.